Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Techniques for centering, Vigyan, bhairav, tantra. In this series, there are two techniques. The one I had explained earlier on. Imagine the 5 colored circles of the peacock to be your 5 senses in illimitable space. Now let the beauty melt within. Similarly, at any point in time or on the wall, imagine a point and continue to watch until it dissolves. Then your wish for another will come through. Now we are going into the next technique for centering. These two techniques form the part of the centering. The second technique is place your attention in the nerve, delicate as the lotus thread, in the center of your spinal cord, spinal column. In such be transformed. First of all, you need to know about your spinal cord. It is known as medulla oblongata or Merudand. That is the center of nervous system. Meru means the ceremonial mountain that was used for the churning of the ocean. A spinal cord had 2 nerves on the left and the right side. The left side is known as moon nerve or Ida. The one that is on the right hand side is known as Pingala or the sun nerve. When enlightenment or awakening happens, it is better that it happens through the moon nerve. In the middle, there is a nerve called Susumna. There is a very fine thread, a lotus thread. In this technique, it is being spoken about that. Place your whole attention in the nerve, delicate as the lotus thread, in the center of your spinal column. In such be transformed. For this technique, one has to close the eyes and visualize his spinal column, his backbone. It is good to look up in some physiology book the structure of the body, or to go up in the medical videos or something to look up at the structure of the body. So then you know it. Now close your eyes and visualize the backbone. Let the backbone be straight time and again, and I have mentioned when you are sitting, sit straight with your backbone making a 90-degree angle with the ground. It is very important for meditation. Visualize. Firstly, the spinal cord need to be erect, straight, upright, making a 90-degree angle. Visualize it, see it, and just in the middle of it, visualize a nerve as delicate as lotus thread running in the center of your spinal cord, and in such be transformed. If you can concentrate on the spinal cord and first, and then on a thread in the in the middle of it, on the very delicate nerve like the lotus thread running through it. Concentrate on it, and this very concentration throws you to your center, connects you to your center. Why does this happen? The spinal cord is the basis of your entire body structure. Everything is joined to it. Really, your brain is nothing but one pole of the spinal cord. It is connected to the brain. Physiologists say it is nothing but a spinal column, growth of the spinal column. Your brain is really the growth of the spinal column. Your spinal column is connected with your whole body. Everything is connected to it. That is why it is called the spine, the basis. In this spine, there is a thread-like thing, but physiology will not say anything about it because it is not material. In this spine, just in the middle, there is a silver cord, a very delicate nerve. It is not really a nerve as far as physiology is concerned. You can you can operate, but will not find it. It will not be found there because it is not part of the physiology. It is part of the deep psychology. But in deep meditation, it is seen, it is there, non-material, it is energy, not matter. And really that energy cord in your spinal cord is your life. Through that, you are related to the invisible existence, and through that also you are related to the visible, both visible and invisible existence. It bridges the visible and invisible. Through that thread, you are related to the body, and through the thread also you are related to your being, because a part of you is visible to the one who is outside, visible to you when you stand in front of the mirror. There are sense organs which you feel, yet there is a part of you which is not visible to you. It remains unknown and unknowable to you until you move from the circumference to the center. In deep meditation, it is seen, experienced. It is there as non-material energy, not matter. And really, that energy cord in your spinal cord is your life essence. Through that you are related to both visible and invisible existence. It bridges the visible and invisible. Through that thread you are connected, related to the body and also to your soul. First, you have to move in steps. First, you have to visualize the spine. At first, the feeling is strange. You will be able to visualize it, but as an imagination. In the first place, when you're visualizing it, it will simply be an imagination. And if you go on endeavoring, then it will not be just your imagination. You will become capable of seeing the entire spinal column. Sometimes when you are working on any person on this technique, and a picture of the body structure is given to concentrate on, so that you can feel how the spinal column can be visualized inside. In the beginning, when you continue to do for 1 week, you will begin to feel strange. And if you try to see the picture, but many times the picture disappears and you will see a different spine. It is not exactly then the picture of the spine. Then when this begins to happen, in the beginning you are concentrating on the picture of the spinal cord. As the meditation continues, within a week, that image, that picture of the spinal cord will disappear, and in place there will be a new image. And it is not exactly what you had started concentrating on, then you are on the right path. Then forget the picture completely and go on seeing the spine that has become visible to you. It has become visible to you from within, not from outside. The spinal cord, the physiological image of the spinal cord that is given to you to concentrate on is changed completely. Man can see his whole body structure from within. But we have not tried it because it is very, very fearful. The scientists, spiritual scientists like Shushruta, who is considered the father of the modern anatomy, modern surgery, they have seen the entire body structure from within. You can see your body structure from within, but it has not been tried because it is very fearful. Because when you see your bones, blood and veins, you become afraid. So really we have completely blocked our minds from seeing the entire body structure from within. We see the body from outside as if someone else is looking at the body. It is just as if you go outside the room and look at it. Looking at the room from outside and looking at within are two different things. When you are looking at your room from outside, you will see the outer walls. Come in and look at the house. Then you can look at the inner walls. You see your body from outside as if you are somebody else seeing your body. You have not seen the body from within, but you are capable of. But because of this fear, it has become a strange phenomenon and nobody bothers about it. The yoga books in India say many things about the body which have been found to be exactly right by the new scientific research, and science is unable to explain this phenomena. How could the spiritual scientists know? Surgery and knowledge of the inside of the human body are very recent developments. How could they know of all the nerves, of all the centers, of all the structures? They knew even about the latest findings. They have talked about them, they have worked upon them. Yoga has always been aware about all the basic significant things of the body, but they were not dissecting the body to know this. Then how could they do it? This is a strange phenomenon. Recently there has been a way of looking at your body from within. If you concentrate within, suddenly you will begin to see your body, the inner lining of the body. It is good for those who are deeply body oriented. If you feel yourself a materialist, if you feel yourself to be nothing but the body, this technique will be very helpful for you. If you feel yourself to be a body, if you are a believer in the Charvak or Marx, if you feel that man is nothing but a body, this technique will be very useful. Then go on seeing the bone structure of the man. In the old tantra school, they used many bones. Even now, a tantric will always be found with some bones, with a man's skull. Really, it is helpful to concentrate from inside. First, he concentrates on the skull. Then he closes his eyes and tries to visualize his own skull. He begins by visualizing the skull outside. Then he begins to visualize his own skull. He goes on trying to see the outer skull inside. And by he begins to feel his own skull. His consciousness begins to be focused that outer skull, and the concentration on it and visualization of it are just helps. Once you are focused within, you can move from your toes to the head. You can move inside, and it is a great universe inside. Your small body is nothing else but a miracle of the existence, a great universe. This sutra uses the spinal column because within the spinal column there is the thread of life, the lotus thread, the silver lining. This is why there is so much importance on a straight backbone. Because if the backbone is not straight, you will not be capable of seeing the inner thread. It is very delicate, very subtle. Not only delicate but subtle. It is minute. It is energy flow. So if the spinal column is straight, absolutely straight, only then you can get the glimpse of this thread. But normally your spinal column is not straight. Hindus have tried to make everyone's spinal column straight. from the very childhood. Their way of sitting, their way of sleeping, their way of walking, all were based basically on a straight spinal column. If the spinal column is not straight, then there is very difficult to see the inner lining. It is delicate and non-material. It is immaterial. It is a force. It is energy. When the spinal column is absolutely straight, that thread force, that silver lining can be seen very easily. The sutra says, in such be transformed. Once you can feel and concentrate and realize this thread, you can concentrate, you can feel the thread and realize it. You will be filled with new light. The light will be coming from your spinal column. It will spread all over your body. It may even go beyond your body. When it goes beyond the body, auras are seen. Everyone has an aura, but ordinarily your aura is nothing else but the shadow without light. Just a dark shadow around you. And those auras reflect even your moods. When you are angry, then your aura becomes almost blood-filled. They become filled with a red color, angry expression. When you are sad, dim, down, your aura will be filled with dark threads as if you are approaching near death. Everything dead and heavy. When your spinal column has realized this thread, your aura becomes enlightened. So a Buddha, a Mahavir, a Krishna, a Jesus are not painted with aura just as decoration. That is the state of their moods, like see their moods remain one way. Outside they may use anger as a tool, but deep within they are filled with compassion. So then their aura never changes. They are not just painted with auras as decorations. Those aura really exists. That shows their inner state. Your whole body becomes the body of the light then. Then it penetrates the outer realm. So when you sit down, sit near such a person, you feel elevated even if you do not talk. Even if you are sitting just silently, it energizes you. So for a Buddha, for everyone who is enlightened, there is no need to ask, what he is. Aura shows everything. A peace surrounds him. A peace surrounds him, sits like a statue, no movement of the body. That is why the word Buddha came into practice. And when someone becomes enlightened, the master knows it, because the aura around him reflects everything. When people sit in meditation, they around a master, he knows the inner state of everyone just by looking at it. I'll tell you a story. Huining was a Chinese master. He came to Bodhidharma. He was working under his master. When Huining went to the master said, "Why have you come here? There is no need to come to me." Huining could not understand. Huining thought he was not yet ready to be accepted, but the master was seeing something else. He was seeing his growing aura. He was saying this, "Even if you do not come to me, the thing is bound to happen to you sooner or later. You are already in it, so there is no need to come to me." But Huining said, "Why do you reject me?" So the master accepted him and told him to go just behind the monastery. In the kitchen of the monastery, it was a big monastery of 500 monks. The master said to Huining, "Just go behind the monastery and help in the kitchen, and you do not need to come to me again. Whenever I need, I will come to you." This was the meditation given to Huining. No scripture to read, nothing to meditate on, nothing was taught to him. He was just thrown in the kitchen. The whole monastery was working. There were scholars, there were meditators, and there were yogis, and the whole monastery was on the go. Everyone was working, and Huining was just cleaning rice and doing the kitchen work. I recall during my growing age time, I used to be a support for my grandmother, whatever she was doing, and I used to feel elated that I am her assistant, in the sense that I am so close to her. Anything she will have to ask, she will ask me to get this from her, safe here and there and everything. So Huining, and then the cleaning up the place for the meditation, preparing the meditation room. Whenever anybody was to be initiated, just to assist the person and give him the primary, all that basic requirements, nothing else. At that time, the question came to my mind, what am I doing? Just cleaning the floor? She come and sit down and then making the prasad for the prayers and asking me to do this, to do that, and so. What is all this? Is it prayer? Everyone is really given that every seed is capable of blossoming into a flower. You have come into the world as a seed with all the potentiality that a Buddha is born with. If you are given an aura, given an environment, you are being nourished and nurtured in the presence of an awakened one. You are within the energy field of the awakened ones. You continue to grow. The plant gets the water, nourishment. It is under the sky, gets the breeze and all that is relevant for its growth. So Huineng remained in the kitchen, cleaning the rice and doing the ancillary work and nothing else. Everyone is meditating, someone is giving talks, or all these things were happening. But what Huineng was doing, just cleaning the rice, cleaning the floor, whatever assistance needed from anyone, called Huineng. 12 years passed. Huineng did not go to his master Bodhidharma because the master has said that you do not need to come to me. When the need arises, I will come to you. He waited and waited and waited. He simply waited. He was just taken as a servant. Scholars would come, meditators would come, and no one would even pay attention to Huineng. And there were big scholars in the monastery. Then one day the master declared that his death was near. Now he wanted to appoint someone to function in his place. So he said, those who think they are enlightened should compose a small poem of 4 lines. In those 4 lines you should put all that you have gained. And if I approve any poems and see those lines show that enlightenment has happened, I will choose someone as my successor. Then there was a great scholar, and no one attempted the poem because everyone knew that he was going to win. He was a great knower of scriptures, that scholar. So he composed 4 lines. And those 4 lines were just like this. The meaning of it was like this: mind is like a mirror, and dust gathers on it. Clean the dust and you are enlightened. Mind is a mirror. The surface of the mirror gathers dust. Go on cleaning it. Mind is like a pot. Even in non-doing, it gathers dust. In the night, before you go to sleep, you clean every pot in the kitchen. But when you come and you place them in the cupboard, and when you come in the morning to use the same pot, you take out from the cupboard and you rinse it once again, because even in a state of non-doing, it gathers dust. So this scholar, who everybody thought will win and will become the successor, he wrote, mind is a mirror, it gathers dust. Clean the dust and you are enlightened. But even this great scholar was afraid, because the master would know. He already knows who is enlightened and who is not. Though all he has written is beautiful, it is the very essence of all the scriptures. Mind is a pot that goes on cooking every moment something or the other. When one of the master's disciple asked about enlightenment, he said, have you finished your supper? Then go and wash your pot, and finished. That's all he said. If you have finished the supper, go and wash your pot. As you finish your supper means one desire is finished and new is born. You are looking for an outfit to go to a wedding, you bought that outfit, the new desire comes in. Now I have to get a watch, I have to get a pair of shoes, something for makeup or something or the other. So the scholar was also afraid that master will know. He already knows who is enlightened and who is not. Though he has written, and whatever he wrote was beautiful, it is the very essence of all the scriptures. Mind is like a mirror, it gathers dust even in non-doing. You have a mirror on the door of your wardrobe. It gathers dust. You have to clean it now and again. Remove the dust and you are enlightened. This was the whole essence of scriptures. But he knew that he knew all that was. He had not known anything, so he was afraid. He would not go directly to the master, but in the night he went to the hut, to his master's hut, and wrote all the 4 lines on the wall without signing it, without any signature. In this way, if the master approved and said, okay, this is right, then he would say, I have written them. It is said, no. Who has written these lines? Then he would keep silent, he thought. But the master approved. In the morning, he said, okay. He laughed and said, okay. The man who has written is an enlightened one. So the monastery began to talk about it. Everyone knew who had written it. They were discussing and appreciating those lines, and the lines were beautiful, really beautiful. Then some monk came to the kitchen. They were not and they were drinking tea and they were talking, and the Huining was there serving them. He heard that what has happened. The moment he heard those lines, he laughed. Huining heard those lines, the mind is a mirror, it gathers dust. Go on cleaning it and you will be enlightened. He began to laugh. So someone asked, "Why are you laughing, you fool? Do you not know anything? For 12 years you have been serving in the kitchen. You have not learned anything, you are laughing." No one heard him laugh like that ever before. He was just taken to be an idiot who would not even talk. So he said, "I cannot write, and I am not an enlightened one either, but those lines are wrong. So if someone comes to me with it, I will compose the 4 lines. If someone comes with me, he can write on the wall. I cannot write, and I do not know anything about writing." So someone followed him just as a joke. A crowd came there, and Huining said, "Right. There is no mind, there is no mirror." There is no mind, there is no mirror, so where can the dust gather? There is no mind, there is no mirror, so where can dust gather? One knows. One who knows this is enlightened. There is no mind, there is no mirror to gather dust. One who knows this is enlightened. Because really mind does not exist, it has an imagination. Your thought is not yours, your feelings are not yours, they arise as a process of your interaction in the outer world. Mind does not exist, no mind exists. Aman. That's why in Hindi we use Aman Chan. Mind is the disturbance. Aman is a state of non-disturbance, peace and serenity and tranquility. There is no mind and there is no mirror. So where can the dust gather? Huining laughed when he heard those words. Man is the mind is a mirror, it gathers dust, clean it and you are enlightened. But Huining says there is no mind, there is no mirror. So where can dust gather? One who knows this is enlightened. But the master came out and said, "You are wrong," to Huining. Huining touched the feet of the master and returned back to the kitchen. In the night when everyone was asleep, the master came to Huining and said, "You are right. But I could not say that before those idiots. And they are learned idiots. So all your priests are nothing else but learned idiots. If I had said that you are appointed as my successor, they would have killed you. So escape from here. You are my successor. but do not tell it to anyone. And I knew this day, I knew this the day you came. I knew this the day you came in. Your aura was growing, and that is why no meditation was given to you. There was no need. You were already in meditation. And these 12 years of silence, not doing anything, not even meditation, emptied you completely of your mind, and you attained to the state of no mind. And the aura has become complete. You have become a full moon. But escape from here, otherwise they will kill you. You have been here for 12 years, and light has been constantly spreading from you. But no one has observed it. And they have been coming to the kitchen. Everybody has been coming to the kitchen every day, twice, thrice a day. Everyone passes through here. That is why I posted you in the kitchen, but nobody has recognized your aura. So escape from here. When the spinal cord is touched, seen, realized, an aura begins to grow around you. In such, be transformed. Be filled with that light and be transformed. This is centering. Centering in the spinal cord. If you are body oriented, this technique will help you. If you are not body oriented, it will be very difficult. It will be difficult to visualize the spinal cord from inside. Then you look at the body from inside. Then looking at your body from inside will be difficult. This sutra is more helpful for women than men, because women are body oriented. They live more in the body, they feel more, they can visualize the body more. Women are body oriented than men. But for someone who can feel the body, who feels the body, who can visualize, who can close his eyes and feel the body from within, this technique will be very useful for that person, male or female. I'll continue this in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.